This is the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Weather Briefing for Monday, April 13th. On the activity map, we do see a lot of the prescribed burning in the purple circles retreating back more towards central and especially northern areas of the Great Basin. Recent fires in the small scale size in the yellow circles even had a natural fire in the last 24 hours in some of the higher terrain just west of Price. Precipitation, this is through yesterday, dry across the southern third of the geographic area, but precipitation of a moderate nature started appearing in northern Nevada and western Idaho. A lot of this has overspread much of the area further south in the last 24 hours. However, one storm doesn't change a longer-term drought pattern, and over the past 2 months, we still have these extreme drought conditions on the short-term flash drought index. You can see it through here, and some of those higher severe or moderate values pushing into northern areas of Nevada, Utah, and into parts of southern Idaho and western Wyoming as well. Be watching that and see how that progresses over the course of the spring. Snowpack, incredibly low, record low snowpack across, I would say, 2/3 of the geographic area. Just abnormally low snowpack, which is our best condition so far this year in parts of the central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming. Fuel conditions starting up north in the Payette National Forest. Not that long ago, we were at record high ERCs. Recent precipitation has dropped that back down precipitously, but all the way down to just normal because ERCs were so high before, and they're forecast to go down a little bit more in the coming days. Across the Arizona Strip, also not just near record highs, but near the 80th percentile, but they'll also take a drop given by this green line in the coming days with some light precipitation moving down into those areas as well. Upper level map, here's low pressure area just outside of Vegas, some moisture with it, more of a showery nature, some steadier showers with a dying low further north. Some drier air temporarily behind it. Excellent overall dispersion on the right, given that with all that white area. This is the time of year with the longer days we get these better dispersion areas. Part of it is the breezes, southern areas, especially down the Arizona Strip. We see the orange sustained winds somewhere between 20 and 30 miles an hour. Same for eastern Idaho. However, that's coming with higher humidity levels, so not a concern for fire there. But you can see the transport winds, gusts probably 45 miles an hour or so in parts of the northern Arizona and far southern Utah. Similar story for eastern Idaho. Great mixing heights vertically, as you would expect this time of year. Now that low pressure moves further northeastwards and starts dying out a little bit. Another low dropping down out of the Gulf of Alaska, but again, excellent overall dispersion. Surface winds lightening up just a little bit, but a little breezy off the far northern Sierra into western Nevada, into the Snake River Plain. But you can see the humidity levels. Well, they do dry out into the mid to upper teens across southern Nevada, but elsewhere they're somewhere between 30-35%, even higher in the Idaho mountains. Wind starting to pick up a little bit off the Wasatch Crest on eastwards, and a larger area further westwards across Nevada and Idaho in response to the next approaching storm system. And there's that storm system on Wednesday, a deeper low consolidating off the Seattle coast, a larger swath of moisture, a strong cold front. So we'll see precipitation get more widespread from north to south and as well as west to east. Perfect overall dispersion, almost every area in the white. See some really strong surface winds, somewhere between 30, 35, even 40 miles an hour at the surface. Of course, that's coming with humidity somewhere in the mid-20s to mid-30% range. There is drier air, maybe 10 to 15% further south, and the winds there at the surface will be picking up as well. And in that drier air, this is probably our biggest concern. We'll see probably gusts close to 25 to 30. These really strong gusts of 50, even 60 miles an hour will be coming with higher humidity and some precipitation, but those are damaging winds. I'll have to watch that as well. 3-day precipitation totals, you can see some moderate amounts into northern Nevada late in the period, some heavier amounts in the central Idaho mountains, and some that could fall in the form of snow. The snow level will be dropping there, lighter amounts further south. On Thursday, that low pressure area moves east of the Sierra, starts weakening a little bit, but still a broad swath of showery moisture further eastwards. The low progresses further eastwards into eastern Utah, on Friday and fades out as it heads into the Colorado Rockies, but yet another storm system dropping down. So a very active weather pattern as we go into the next 7 days. On Sunday, this low deepens through here. So we're getting a lot of spring shower activity. We'll have to watch and see how this plays out with fine fuel growth. We were not expecting much, but if we can get continued showery activity for the next 2 to 3 weeks, that could change some of the fine fuel landscape across the area. And then it depends on whether we stay cool and wet or whether we dry out rapidly later into May and June. Still a long ways to go before that happens. Day 4, Day 5 precipitation, Thursday morning through Saturday morning. You can see amounts lightening up from west to east. And then not much at all on Day 6 and 7, but there's the leading edge of that next storm system. We'll see how that progresses, whether it stays further westwards or whether it makes a trek across the Sierra. 7-day totals shown here. And the 8 to 14 day outlook shows basically near normal temperatures and near normal precipitation for most areas, except a little signal towards somewhat higher than normal precipitation chances in our far western areas. Concludes our briefing. Next one coming up on Wednesday.